Welcome in, everyone, to a special report from the Motorsports Almanac podcast. As it was released today, NTPA Grand National has a brand new class coming to us in 2026. We had heard the rumors around the interleague time in September, and lo and behold, they are true. The 4.1 Limited Pros will be joining the Grand National Tour in 2026. Here to join us from the NTPA Board of Directors, Mr. Travis Schlabach. Mr. Travis, I know you're busy and you've got somewhere else to be here pretty soon, but just wanted to have you on because we had heard rumblings. We just want to know what on earth's going on here. We had heard there was going to be a class dropped. That wasn't the case. Obviously, the super farms are still around. I mean, it's both our classes. Of course, we wanted it to stay, but what's going on the NTPA side of things? What's this going to look like and mean for 2026, you think?
So the biggest thing is we had a big group of the 4-1 pullers that had, talked, and it was just been going on. A lot of people have asked, light pro, limited pro. There was a lot of discussion. Do we add another class? Do we got too many classes? I mean, there's a million things. We could spend 2 hours talking about this, that, and whatever. I've had people tell us we should be down to 6 or 8 Grand National classes, and that's it. I've had people say, well, just put as many in there as you can. Well, it all comes in, but the board took a lot of consideration with this. We've been working on this probably for, I'll say, a couple years. Definitely high-speeded it this fall. Definitely we got the ball rolling or the ball got rolling. The board caught it and said, okay, let's look at this. Let's go through it. And the pros, the cons, and I've heard them all. I've had people ask me, you're dropping Super Farm. No, we're not. So in the end, to the announcement today from NTPA, we have added the 4-1 class to the Grand National circuit. And a lot of that comes from promoters also. It's not just the pullers that said, hey, we want to go run Grand National. You can have all that you want. All the pullers say, I could have light limited super stock. I could have classic super stock guys. It doesn't matter. We could have 2.6 diesel pickups that say we want to run. We got to look at it. And that's why when I say it's been a couple-year process, Greg and the guys at NTPA that actually do it, we're starting to get some discussion from promoters. Hey, we'd be interested in Grand National. Some of them, give you an example, I think Rockwell had 4-1 limited pro in a class. Toma had that in a regional class. So they had been getting some recognition, and that was 100% promoters' decision. So I think that's a lot that we want to put out there is we're offering it. I think Greg Randall gave an excellent explanation of this is when you go to the restaurant, you sit down and they hand you a menu. That's what NTPA is doing. Is we're handing the promoter that menu. And these are all the items that we have available for that. And, that they may say, the promoter may ask, hey, I want to pick class D. Okay. And I don't care what do you look for attendance? What do you think we're going to get for pullers? That could be 52 minis, 48 pro stocks, or 5 semis. So the promoter then actually looks at his schedule. How many vehicles does he want to run down that track at night? What does his time frame work? I will tell you in the 2 years of NTPA board, I have learned a lot. There is a lot behind the scenes that I, as a puller for 10, 15 years, did not realize. Noise ordinances. There's some events that we go to that got a noise ordinance, so that puller has to design that pull based on his noise ordinance. I can start at 6 o'clock, but I got to be done at 11 to meet my noise ordinance. So it still comes back to the promoter has the pick. So we're excited to add that Grand National. Rule changes, that was what's great. Didn't change any rules. Went through a lot of turbo discussion, crossover pipe blankets, and all of that. That was all last year. So I don't think there's nothing catastrophic coming out for a rule change that pops into my head. There might be something little or blah 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 whatever. So that part of it is good for the 26 season, and so we wanted to get that out. No, they wanted to release it here the 1st of October, and we felt as a board, we met at the Enderley. So we did the Enderley a lot differently this year because we used to bring every division in, talk to them individually, whatever. So as a board, what we did is we come back together and thought, with today's technology, we have emails, we all have cell phones, availability. Let's just rely on these divisions. As board members, we tried to grab a couple divisions and go out and visit with people. Example, I visited with like my diesel superstock guys. I know a lot of them, blah, blah, blah. Brad Benedict, he took care of the unlimited class. Brian McDonald, he was in on the two-wheel drive class. Mark Pyzik took care of the minis. I mean, we all had some direct involvement in different classes. So I hope I hope nobody feels that they got left out of the Enderley conversation. We did have that meeting where there was a group of anybody that had questions, kind of rapid fire at the board. I still do apologize. I was 20 minutes late. I thought that was after the meeting. That was my fault. But so we got to there, and then at the Enderley, we made a lot of talked about a lot of things, but didn't make a lot of decisions, which gave us a month to have all the pullers reach out to us. We kind of let the word out, like Wyatt said, and you guys said, you heard the grumblings at the Enderley that we were going to add, so we had a lot of 4-1s that had reached out previous to that, and we had a lot of them that reached out afterwards. And I had a few Grand National Super Farm guys go, what are we doing? We're leaving that up to the promoters. And let's be real. Grand National Super Farms guys had 8 hooks last year. And there was also already some promoters that had said, hey, we want to switch things up with that. I personally, and I think as a board, we can say, we don't want to have a points championship with 4 or 6 hooks.
No,
that's not good for nobody, right? So let's see where this shakes out at. And we're the region super farms are still, of course, we all know the biggest area for super farms is Michigan area. So that's all, and all of our regions are going to stay there. And I don't know. I'm curious if some of the super farm guys jump up, but we're not alienating anybody. We're not forcing anybody, but we just felt from talking to promoters, boards, that this was a way to go and see what happens and, kind of move on. And so I've actually had 2 promoters already call me today and said, is this true on the 4-1s? Yeah. Is this true? Yes, it's, it's Facebook official now, so yep, it is. Just because it's on Facebook, don't always believe it, I tell them. But yeah, so we've had a couple reach out that said, okay, we'll take that under advisement and we'll see. So I don't know. We won't find out till, I'm going to say, mid to late December is when Greg and the crew at NTPA will do some preliminary schedule releases.
Okay.
And so, I've had 4-1 guys already calling, where are we at? I'm like, well, no, come on, guys. I don't know that quite yet. We just put the information out there yet. So hopefully, I'm saying, mid-December to end of December.
Okay.
Give that information. Another question got asked is, there was discussion out there that it would be that we would only take a certain number of pullers. That's false. Buy a Grand National license and you're good to go. So it wouldn't be any different buying a Grand National license for Super Farm. You can only, somebody else called, just like Super Farm, or like all classes, you can only collect points in one division. So if you're Grand National 4.1, you can't collect points in Region 4.1. I think that's how the current Super Farm all of that is. So, and a lot of it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same setup, same as all the other classes. It's not a one-off deal. So the program, the Galaxy Tour will be similar. We're tweaking on a little things with the Galaxy Tour and all of that. The free entry and all of that. We're playing with that whole program. So there will be more details to come on that. But as a board and from direction of Craig and the crew at NTPA, we needed to get this out so the promoters could see it. The promoters can put their feelers out to their fans Their fans can get feedback to them. What do they want? All of that contributes to putting people in the seats, money in their pocket to pay the NTPA, and hopefully have a lot left over. So, yeah, so it's exciting, but I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, one of the discussions I had today, whenever it came out, is what does this do to somewhere like Bowling Green? Because I mean, you think already about how tight on parking we are to begin with. I mean, it's a thing that's. I mean, it's going to be discussed at some point in time, I would think, right?
100%, and then that is 100. That's a promoter's decision.
Yeah.
I'm not saying yes, no, or indifferent. Bowling Green does not have to take them. Bowling Green can drop any class they want.
Whatever.
Once again, we're handing the promoter a menu. Pick the items that you would like to order. That's the biggest thing there, and that is 100% in the Bowling Green's realm. That's their job as the promoter to pick up what's going to put on the best show for the facility that they have. And
Absolutely.
and kudos to them guys. I mean, hell, they put on a great show, and we all know that. But and I've said this all year last year is we're getting record numbers in all classes.
Yeah.
Diesel Supers, man, we had an awesome show at Sandwich, Illinois. That years at the end we struggle. Pro Stock, that's a great numbers. Minis, we got too many, but I didn't say that. They're great numbers. Two-wheel drives, four-wheel drives, we got great numbers. Semis, struggling a little there for a total number, but I'm also optimistic. It's a semi. I don't expect to ever see 42 semis show up at an event.
No.
But would I love to have a few more than the 5, 6, 7 that we're getting? Yeah, I'd love to have 10 or 12. So if somebody's bored out there, start getting yourself a semi. I'd love to see you in there. So,
yeah, Bowling Green was a lot of fun with the semis this time.
Yeah. So, and Bowling Green's always hard because everybody wants to go to Bowling Green.
And that
pro guys started texting, we in Bowling Green? I don't know that, guys. Come on, we just announced we're going to offer it, So, but that's 100% their decision. It is all the way through, and we'll definitely work. Greg and the crew at NTPA is, they're working with every promoter already, and with our banquet coming up and our banquet getting moved down to Orlando, they've been busy finalizing some details on that. That's just a little bit different this year. So then, and I know Greg has been going, it's October 15th, 16th today. Now he's going into full promoter mode, and not to speak for Greg, but, he kind of tells me that guy goes in every direction, but straight once in a while, because he's doing so many things. He's got a man of multi hats, is what that is. But does a great job, keeps everybody in line, and even keeps me in line once in a while, if you can believe that.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So, moving away from the 4.1 topic a little bit, I know you're probably really limited in what you're allowed to say, but is there anything else that we really need to keep our ears to the fire for, and what's coming down the pipeline for NTPA? I know you said no major rule changes or anything like that. You guys have got Macville being in NTPA in Macville, Wisconsin this year.
Yep. So they announced that here a little bit ago, the Macville. Yeah. And when I say rules, there was no drama. We all say it. Remember last year at the 4-1s and the boat props, the covers and the crosses and all of that. Boy, we beat that horse, and that horse just stayed alive. We're done beating that thing, and we're good to go on that. So, yeah, I mean, we've got some small rule changes, whatever, but most of it was safety orientated and different things like that. And yeah, and Dale Kwame, and kudos to Dale on that. He really does it. Some people grumble about how hard it is to read the rule book, but I challenge anybody to take that rule book and write down every single rule that us board members throw out in a Zoom meeting and try to put that all together in a rule that makes sense for every single other puller and operator in the United States. So, but what that was the other thing that we tried to do is we didn't want to make rules at the Enderley, announce them, change them in October, overhaul them in November, and change them again in December. So what Dale is trying to do, so after our meeting, we made a lot of discussion, a lot of decisions on a lot of things. Now Dale will rewrite them, and then he'll send them back out to the board to make sure that we're all kind of compensating how Dale, because it's how he writes it. And then we'll get it to the printing, and then we'll get our rule books printed. So I'm hoping, and I'm also dreaming, I'm hoping in December we get them out. But there's nothing that's huge that's going to cause anybody a lot of pain and suffering, I don't feel.
Okay, good.
We did our clutch can thing here in the middle of the year. We gave them till 2027, different things like that. So yeah. So we'll be good. I think everything's moving along and moving towards that portion of it. So
yeah, that's a good deal, my friend. I know you've got to get going. I told you it wouldn't keep you very long.
Oh,
so.
That's fine. I got a little bit of time. If you got any other questions, that I'd rather hammer them out so we don't get somebody.
You don't have to get bombarded anymore. Just tell them, hey, just tell them whenever they ask you, just go watch the show. I answered all of that there.
I answered everything on Shane's show. Yep. So
yeah, absolutely.
But so it's been. I will tell you though, guys. It's when they asked me to be on the board, and I'm on multiple boards and city councils and different things like that. So I had thought, well, I think I got an idea how this all runs, and it's it was an eye opener. It was really an eye opener. And for those that don't, there's a WPI board, there's an NTPA board, and I'm on the NTPA board with a great group of people. And all we talk about is rules and operation of the polls. When it comes to the finances and the personnel and everything, that's a WPI deal. So it's fun. It's a great way to split it. But then when it comes to rules and everything like that, we're one big group. WPI, the NTPA, all of us vote. We all have an equal vote in it. There's 10 of us. And that really works well. I know there's some conception, or there's people that think, well, NTPA makes the rule and then WPI gets the final say. That is not an accurate statement. Now, if it's a safety violation or something, crazy like that, NTPA board, which we wouldn't, but could get out there and say, we're going to no longer require helmets. Well, we could vote that in, but WPI would say, no, that is a safety deal. We're going to require that. So they can trump us. But the great thing about the 10 group people that we have now, we're all in the same meeting. And then 99% of the time it's a majority rules. We're all on the same page and we're all moving forward to the same beat. And once in a while, I'll throw a no vote in there just to see if everybody's paying attention and stuff. But that's all right.
Got to keep everybody on their toes. I got a question from Levi. Levi, forgive me for not being able to say your last name, bud. But he said, how many do you think will run for Grand National points in 4-1? I think that's the big question on everybody's mind with adding a new class. It has to be some sort of substantial number for you guys to say yes to it.
And I hope we get the support. We go back to Farley last year. There was 50 tractors at Farley.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong. That was an extreme event. Blah blah blah. Whatever. But we know there's 50 out there. I feel from the preliminary numbers that we got that we had 20 to 25 that say, "Yep, we'll come pull at Grand National events." Now, if I'm going to be realistic and tell you that, I think I got 20 to 25 on an email that have said, "Yeah, we're awesome. We want to come pull." I can drop that down. If I got 12 to 15 that attended every event, and I got 12 to 15 that were somewhat competitive in a tight points race. I mean, we've all been through the points race. We know it gets down to the end and there's top 3 or 4, but I'm not taking nothing away from the next 9 to 10 of them. So we're optimistic. I'm hoping that I end up with a good 15, but I hope I wheel into Tomah, Wisconsin this year. And I don't even know that Tomah's going to take them, so don't let me put that in there. But if they do, I hope that we got 30, 35 of them in there.
I guarantee if it's Grand National, you will. I don't think there's a doubt about it.
So, and then there's part of us keep going, dang it. I jokingly said a note the other day. I said, we get too many at Bowling Green, that show's going to start at noon and go to midnight with a straight shot that never going to quit. So, and that's a good thing. Rockwell's the same way. And that's a great thing for polling in general, that we are getting that much demand and that we've got a great numbers out there. So that's awesome. And I tell people all the time, I'm not saying we're perfect here at the NTPA board. There's a chance this will be an epic flop, but I've also always said you'll never make a mistake if you don't do something. And we felt that this was something we should do and look into. And then we said, okay, we've got enough data. Let's try it and go from there. And we jumped in and said, we're trying it. We'll reevaluate in a year, or make some changes or whatever. So I hope there's not many.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not. I think the other great thing is too, with the 4-1s being added to the Grand National schedule, I don't think you're going to see a lot of change from where they've been before with Hutch, Rockwell. I think Fort Recovery's had them too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I
can't remember for nothing.
They had light pros, I know, but I don't know if they had limited. But they might have had limited one day and light the next. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they swap them every other year or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that's what everybody's kind of like. Well, that's kind of why I would kind of throw on the brakes. Whenever everybody was like, "Oh, Superfarm's going to get replaced," I'm like, "Whoa, time out! Like, where are they really going to go? That we
they were losing them.
Am I still here?
Yep.
Nope, I'm back.
Okay. I'm
telling you, man, technical difficulties has not been my night tonight.
So I think it'll be good. I think it'll be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting to see where the numbers are, and then we got data. I hate to say it, guys. It's all about data, and when I can go in next year, and then when that promoter says, "How many vehicles you think you're going to bring me?" Here's some data. Right now, we got a blank sheet of paper. So
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the amount of pullers I've seen from really the geographic area hasn't been specific to one spot. That's been the really cool thing I've seen today, just with everybody sharing the post and everything. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the numbers for it now. It's got like 34 shares, 84 comments, whatever. A lot of guys from Missouri, a lot of guys from up in Minnesota.
I will put this out there. It will not, N-O-T, not be a box charger.
That will not be a box.
That will not. That is not a discussion, not on the table, not an option.
Okay.
So I will go out on the edge. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I will, because it will not be a box charger.
Okay. So you missed our discussion last week about box chargers.
And I'm not saying that them guys are right, wrong, or indifferent.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we are not going down that road.
Okay. That's good to know. I mean, that'll make
that was a lot of people
decisions, I'm sure.
A lot of people were asking that question, and that is not an option. So
yeah,
we'll continue with the same turbo they had and go from there. So yeah,
perfect. Wyatt, you have anything you want to add in, brother?
Not off the top of my head right at the moment. I guess just it's a waiting game at this point. I mean, the banquet's going to tell us a lot, though. I feel like.
Yep, we'll learn a lot there. And guys, if there's something else, if I need to jump back on here, if there gets to be a lot of discussion, or everybody wants to take paintball guns and shoot them at me, let me know. I got broad shoulders.
So. Yes, sir. We certainly appreciate you just taking the time to jump on. I know you've got a busy schedule, my friend.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Travis.
See you, Travis.
Yeah, so like we said at the top of the show, you guys, 2026, we will be seeing 4-1 Grand National Pros, and that right there pretty much told you everything you needed to know about what's going to happen here, And I mean, adding him to like Hutch and Rockwell, just having another Grand National class, I think it'll be great.
Well, and it's a geographic decision too. Sometimes it can be.
Yeah,
Hutch has had him before. Rockwell's had him before. Toma's had him before. It's not like it's a new thing.
Yeah,
it's just the status changes. That's really the only change. The status changes of the class from it's not just regional anymore. It's regional and Grand National. So
yeah, exactly. And here's the other thing for me though too. And I've had this discussion with some of the state level guys, not as competitors, but as on the how do you say it, on the board of directors for your state level organizations, I guess you could say. there comes a certain point where you're getting a demand for the amount of pulls that you guys can put on. Sometimes you've got to add classes to be able to fill that demand because you can't run guys ragged all over the place. You know what I mean? I mean, we talked about how stacked up the schedules are on the Grand National side of things for super stocks and pro stocks anyway.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
this is a little relief to it.
I mean, Travis could have answered himself. I mean, when you go 5-6 weeks in a row, you kind of need a break, and this could be an option to give that break.
Yeah, which I really, really like for that sakes. But I want to give a shout out to Mr. Mike Weekland. He's watching again tonight. He announced the dates for his pulls this coming year, in 2026. He will be sticking with Pull Off Productions, and they're going to stay on the first weekend in October next year. So hopefully get a chance to go back out to that one because that pull was a lot of fun and everything else. Chris Baker said that's a class a lot of state guys would show up for a Grand National event and have an upset win. Yeah, see, now that's the fun part about that, Chris. That's what I really enjoy about 4-1s as a whole, because especially with my experience at Midwest Winter Nationals, it's kind of been who from what geographic location is going to do what, because we can throw them in one place and one place dominate, and we throw them in another place and a different one do it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I could see a lot of guys from my area running it, I think. Right off the top of my head, the Long family, with their 2 4-1s, I could see them running it. Jacob Old, I imagine, is going to run it. I mean, he's already said so in his Facebook. Wyatt, who else? This is purely speculatory too, but I mean, I imagine Dean Halicki is going to run it, right? Kevin Lindstrom.
If Dean's still watching, I think he could clarify that question for us right now. But I think we're going to see a positive impact across the board here. It's not just going to be a 4-1 thing.
No.
And the reason I say that is it goes back to the point before of probably giving some relief. Like Travis said, you need a menu at a restaurant to give you options. You can't just have 3 things. They're like, this is what you can have. This is all you're going to get. So
yeah, exactly. And here, this kind of opens up the other rabbit hole we could go down. Is there new events on the horizons for the NTPA Grand National side of things in different geographic locations to where the 4-1s are popular there?
Or just in general, where this opens it up, where 4-1 gets scheduled here, and that class that was there gets moved somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, look at Macville.
Yeah, look at Dean's response. By the way, there is that possibility. Not a yes, not a no, but a most likely. If I had to guess,
it's there. But that it like Macville, is Macville the only one coming, or is there more to come yet that we don't know about?
So you want to get into the Macville announcement, actually, because we haven't had a chance to talk about it. And the whole reason we're staying on here is because we're going to actually structure our show a little differently this coming Tuesday. We're doing this show tonight, and we're going to cover like some of our typical motorsports stuff. But we want to get our news out of here because on Tuesday night, we're going to call it youth night of pulling. You know, we're gonna have some guests on. No, Dylan Baybell is gonna be joining us. Grant Theobald is gonna be joining us on Tuesday night. And did you talk to Dylan? You hadn't talked to him yet.
Dirks is a maybe. Grant's honestly a maybe. Yet we have yet to determine that, but we're at least gonna try to get the next generation in because it kind of seems to where motorsports and pulling as a whole is going. So we'll see. We'll have to figure that out. But I think we can get on the Macville part. To clarify, and this has been stated on other platforms as well, it's not just NTPA Macville. Macville is NTPA and, as I understand it, Badger State. And you can go back to the Down and Dirty with Badger State guys, with Greg Elsing, John Strandley, and those guys. Greg stated that Badger State will also be in Macville. So what does that mean for classes? We don't know. All we know at this current point in time is that the mini rods, the unlimited, the super semis, and the super side diesel trucks are on the NTPA side so far in Macville, but that might not be the end. We do not know yet. We'll have to see it coming down the pipeline. So I think it's been a while since the NTPA has been in Macville. I can't
remember really when the last time they were.
It's been quite a while.
Heck, man, that's your area, not mine.
Macville's a long way from me, but either way, Macville's historic. The old grounds was historic in itself.
I was gonna say, are they gonna go back to the old grounds, or are they gonna stay at the new place?
They gotta stay at the new place. From what I understand, that they are not going back to the old grounds. So,
which is highly unfortunate because it was a lot of fun. It looked like.
They are making some changes to the grounds itself, what the track surface is, how the layout is just a little bit. So Seymour's going to get changed just a little bit, and we're going to see some positives there. I think that event up there is just going to grow because Macville in itself, that crowd's enormous. It's always been big. They're always into it. The pits are right there all the time where you can have fans right up next to the tractor. I think it's going to be great. Now, the real question is, where's PPL going? Because if you listen to what Greg stated, PPL is somewhere else.
Yeah, so I don't know. Surely that's not going to be within Wisconsin, right? But you and I kind of talked about this today. Where is it? Another pool moving dates, you think?
Is it that, or is there a new venue coming?
I don't know. See, now this is all things we're not going to know until like December. And we're going to sit here and talk about them and speculate all we want, but we're not going to know anything until we get into December, maybe January if we're doing good.
Mm-hmm. See, this is where our silly season starts. It's like these events that we're talking about. Mm-hmm, and these aren't the only ones that are talking about adding events. There's more.
Oh yeah,
it's not public knowledge yet. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you're going to see a few events still pop up here and there. I'm not so sure. Here's the void that's in my mind. NTPA does not have Shipshewana, nor does it have the Mac Trailer Nationals now. I don't see them sitting idle for very long with Pro Pulling League running their series down in Florida. I don't see them just sitting still.
I don't either. Good to be something down the pipeline. I mean, Ford is becoming a hotbed for, off-season polling.
Yeah, it is.
As well as the South. So does that mean there's some more stuff that gets added there? Possibly.
Yeah, maybe. I'll tell you the other one that's really caught my eye and kind of refreshed my memory the other day. I was going through some old results. The old Region 6 winter swing, and there were some places that they went to down there, like Dothan, Alabama, and places like that. Green Cove Springs was another one. Ocala, obviously, I don't think will be under that. I don't know, just somewhere. I just don't see them sitting idle, but I don't know where they go. I mean, do they go out west? Do they go down south? I mean, like what do they do? I think that's the big question on everybody's mind right now.
It's gonna be in the South region. It's gonna have to be with the market that polling has in the South right now, and it's growing.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, look at Southern Pollers. Southern Pollers is not going to stay idle for a long time. There's going to be growth in every class they got down there. You've got Region 6.
They have a ton of two-wheel drive classes.
Yeah, well, they're in a lot of blown two-wheel drive trucks as well.
Yeah,
like Hammond, Louisiana. Hammond may not be a points hook next year, but what does that mean for the poll in general? Does it become one of those destinations where guys swing through and go? Like you say, Green Cove Springs, Satsuma.
See, now,
any of them in that area.
Satsuma's too good of a facility, I feel like, to be used once a year. From what I saw on the live stream last year, that place is legit and good.
Well, Mark's been on NTPA and PPL tracks. He knows what it takes. He knows what it takes to build a horsepower track and put on a show.
Yeah, so. I mean, I had a chance to park next to him this summer in Brandenburg, and he kind of alluded to the idea of like, yeah, we may do something more than once. We'll see how the turnout goes on the first one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's just, this is where it gets really fun because we get to speculate and kind of start thinking like, okay, what are they thinking? What are they going to do? And that's what makes this fun for us.
Yeah.
But have we talked about Mangan getting Loud and Heavy X yet on the show? I don't remember if we covered that on our last show or not.
I think we didn't. And if we didn't, it's not unknown.
Yeah,
Mangan's got a pro stock. So Other than that, we're in the polling silly season. There's stuff going to happen.
Apparently, there's a pro stock for sale that you sent me today.
Well, that's not true, but
it's not true.
No, because that's Heavy X, whatever.
Oh, okay.
But this is when polling starts to get interesting. What vehicles move? We're not that far away from NFMS predictions coming out. We're working on that now.
Our spreadsheet's already getting full.
What does the winter series look like? Where do polls exist for the South, and who goes? Like we talked about Satsuma and Ocala and all those other ones. Is there more on the way?
Yeah. I do know that him in Louisiana is going to be a hook this year. I'm 99.9% sure it will be Mid-South sanctioned.
Now, will it be points? That's to be determined.
Yeah, that's still TBD. I mean, and I've had this discussion with other pollers. Hammond's a fantastic place. I love Charlie and his girlfriend and everything. They're great people. We park next to them all the time at pools, but it's the perfect time of year to have it for them. On top of that, I could see that place going bigger someday.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as running for points, I don't know. Unless it turns into like a regional thing. You know what I mean? Just
True.
Because so many guys up here in March, we're starting to think about putting corn planters in the ground about that time.
Right.
And March is going to be busy this year because you've got Midwest Spring Nationals, my bad. Got Keystone, and then you got Hammond all in the month of March. Y'all, this right here, right now, I think December is our only off time. I don't think there's any pools in December, and that's about it before we start again. And that's not something that we could say 2 or 3, 4 years ago.
Right. A couple years ago, how many guys are really going to Hammond? How many guys are really going to Satsuma or anything in the wintertime or even like Diesel Nut Corners before it is ever nationally known?
Yeah.
How many or California, which is coming up very quickly.
Yeah, we'll have Dylan on the show next week promoting his Bell at the Farm pool coming up. Is it Halloween weekend, I think? Because
on Halloween weekend.
The week of the pool fell whenever we're not going to have a show. So there's that as well. But yeah, this is just some of the fun things. I mean, we've also got things going on the drag racing side too. We're creeping up on Drag Illustrated Winter Series. Oh yeah. Josh Hart's going to drive for John Force this year or this next year in the top fuel, right?
Yes, be Brittany's car.
He's going to be in Brittany's car. I mean, I just saw a minute ago, Dale Jr. announced he's going to be running 2 races in Xfinity next year. He's still not done, which is fantastic because, ratings.
Yep. St. Louis Dirt Track Nationals invites coming
right
out.
Here.
GSI California poll invites going to come out here soon. Give it a month. We're gonna be seeing farm show letters hit the mailboxes. Give it a month.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, and we haven't set a date for the prediction show. It won't be next week, I don't think.
Oh gosh, no. It'll be November something.
Let's see. It'd be on Tuesday,
right? Throw to the people watching. When do you want to see farm show?
How close do y'all want us to cut it? Because here's the other part about that. It's a real fine timeline of when we do it. Because if we wait too late, the letters are going to start hitting. But then if we do it way too early, then people kind of forget about it. But y'all watch and answer that for sure. We had some other stuff we wanted to get to.
I mean,
we just talked about the Josh Hart.
What other topics do you guys want us to talk about on Tuesday? I mean, obviously that being our big show, we're going to have some guests on. What other discussion topics do you want to talk about? Where do you want to see polls come to? That's another thing.
Yeah, that's another one. I'll be 100% honest with you. I think this down here in my area specifically, I think we need one more. We've got Chapel Hill. We have Springfield.
I think there's a few areas that could use another one.
Yeah, I think we need one more because Springfield used to be a Champions Tour hook. And the years it was a Champions Tour hook, it was a lot of fun. It was 4 classes of Champions Tour on 2 tracks. We were done by 10 o'clock. It was awesome.
Springfield, Hazel Green, Alabama, Tanner when he used to
Hazel
be
Green,
around.
Alabama will probably never come back. Same thing with Tanner. They've taken the barriers and the bleachers and everything out of Tanner, and I think they're actually in either in Ardmore or they're in Woodbury. I can't remember which one.
Wherever we can get polls to new places and new motorsports venues is pretty cool. I mean, how long is it till Flying H out in Missouri has a poll?
Yeah, exactly.
So
2 blue ones making Light Pro and Demented. Raging Red makes it. See, now, Chris, him and I have thrown this back and forth with each other. If Raging Red goes, he's not going to go as an A-pump, I don't think. I really don't. He won interstate points by like 100 points or whatever. I don't know if they're going to let the A-pump in. I mean, history dictates that they will, but it depends on... I don't know if they're going to count Smokin' John as their A-pump entry or what they're going to do there. I don't know because I don't know what he ran where.
Mm-hmm. That's always to be determined, I guess.
Yeah.
There's going to be some difficult classes in Farm Show this year to get.
What's the one that we've been having the most trouble with? I've still got it pulled up on my screen. I can't remember which one we've struggled with.
Be honest with you, two-wheel drives and super farms.
Super farms are going to look something different this year. I think we can all agree on that. Just purely for the fact of who ran where and what this year.
Also modifieds, because who with 2 engines throws a third on? Who in the limited takes one off or puts small blowers on?
I mean, that's a thing that's going to happen. I mean, I'll go ahead and let one out of the bag that one super farm out of the bag that I don't think we've ever had on there before. Black Stallion.
Yeah.
Have we ever? So did he for sure apply, or are we just going off of stats for that one?
He did. I got confirmed that he did apply.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, this is the toughest part of what we do is getting guys to confirm whether they put in or not for Farm Show.
Well, and there's points champions all over the country, state or region, or even Canada that didn't apply. Yeah, and you wouldn't know it.
Even in Canada too.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So
yeah, I don't know. I will say this: we have got mods fully filled out. We have super stocks filled out, and
we got full drives and light super pretty close.
Yeah, we've got 11 and 9 on those 2 classes, so it's coming. It's just a matter of time of when you guys want to see it, because I mean we're working on it a little bit at a time.
Yep.
We're not trying to do what we did last year and just clump it all into one.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I feel like we're getting something. Maybe we're not though. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
I guess we'll just leave that for Tuesday.
Yeah, but y'all make sure y'all tune back in on Tuesday night because, like I said, I talked to Grant today and he thought he was pretty well in. Whenever I texted him earlier today,
I guess we'll have to hammer on him.
Yeah, Dylan Baybell, he will definitely be here, and then it'll be me and Wyatt as always, and Dylan Dirks, maybe potentially,
maybe, but we'll have to go west because west is going to get a lot of polling action here pretty soon.
Yeah, I talked to him of what he expected for numbers out there today, and he thinks he'll have, I'm going to say triple digits, I think.
Well, they got unlimiteds going to California, so.
Yeah, they do. I think, well, we'll let him tell who all's going to be out there. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Uncle Sam's out there, and I think Owens is going, ain't he? Because, I mean, they're just going to do the swing. Would make the most sense anyway. Because you can go out there and then go to Madera.
I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will have to see. I want to check and make sure Tucker hasn't come out with anything real quick before we get out of here, just to make sure.
Signed up for Minnesota Internationals if you haven't yet, people.
Also, can you knock Nate Williams out of Light Pro 1 NYTPA? I don't think he got less than a first in Superfarm Mod Turbo.
That doesn't count. That does not count.
No.
We're not counting that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Mod Turbo on Superfarm, man. Like, come on now.
If you wants to run Light Pro, run Light Pro. Sorry.
Yeah. I agree. I'm just looking to make sure, see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, we've had a few sign up. Megan Shu, Brian Shu, they're signed up. Nick DeVries is signed up. I've actually had a couple of the guys from my area that run 10,000 Hot Farm. They're going to run the 95 Pro Farm up there. And then we got another 5-0, Brandon Begman, and Change of Pace. He's going to be there this year. So that's another one to the ever-growing class of 5-0s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited for whenever he released Midwest Spring Nationals class list, though, because I feel like that registration is going to be crazy whenever they do that. Because, I mean, I've had the amount of buzz around going back to Gordyville is absolutely insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Y'all, we really need 24/5 hot farms. My Dark County guys and who else runs the 24/5? Snyder County?
I don't know. I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, but King the 15 mile an hour, he said he's going to take up to 24 of those. So make sure you guys do that. And yeah, man, 5-0 pros, we're up to 7 already, and that's more than what we were at this time last year. We got Begman, Steve Balsma, both of the couch tractors, Chris Kane with third 2, and then Chris Regadance with their Showstopper Pro. So that's just a few of them. Do what now?
I said goes in circles sometimes, though. It's like a revolving door. It's like sometimes you get a lot of one and a lot of another certain years right away. So
yeah, this 9,500-pound pro farm's filling up pretty quick with guys from my area too. That'll be good. And limited pros, we're at 10 already. I will be really curious to see another. Here's the other thing that we're waiting on right now. We're waiting on farm show letters to hit just so we can get another spike in entries right now too.
Yeah, when farm show letters hit the mailboxes, that's when you'll see the bigger 24/5 classes like Light Pro, Limited Pro, and Super Farm just spike.
Yeah, because Super Farm right now we've got one PPL Super Farm signed up, and ironically, Jared Johansson with Blaze of Glory is signed up for NTPA. Be curious to see what happens there.
Again, there's a lot of regulars that go to Minnesota Internationals for those classes that are not in there yet. A lot of them. There's a lot of regulars not in there.
Exactly. But y'all, that's going to do it this time for us. We will be back Tuesday night with our regular Motorsports Almanac on Tuesday night show. And we will see you guys then. And hopefully it'll be a good time. There's no telling what topics we'll get into because this will be a pure discussion night. So if you guys like that, make sure you guys are liking and following the page as much as y'all can. The algorithm's not loving us right now at the moment for some odd reason. And also share our stuff and invite your friends over to our page. You know, we would love to hit 20,000 before the end of the year. So until then, we will see you guys on Tuesday night. Thanks and see y'all later.